Some people drive cars for the thrill of it, the mind-body-machine connection, the adrenaline rush that accompanies excessive speed, the whoosh of fallen leaves as they spin into a cyclone in the rear-view mirror. Some people drive cars because they want everyone else to know how much car they can afford. The Jaguar F-Type sits precisely at the intersection of those two desires. The standard F-Type, available as a coupe or convertible with a choice of a turbocharged and Linfer or one of 3 supercharged V6s, is quick, fast, even, and can hold any driver's attention through curving back roads. But it's not as brisk or as dynamically proficient as many other cars in its class. To match their speed, you'll have to shell out big for the Wicked R and SVR models, with 550 and 575 horsepower, respectively, from their supercharged V8s. They are reviewed separately. Sheer horsepower aside, the F-Type possesses one of the most distinctive and appealing exterior designs in recent memory and a cackling exhaust note that ensures heads will turn to notice both the car and its driver. High's stunning exterior, entrancing exhaust note, several strong powertrain choices. Low's tiny trunk can't keep up with its class on the track. Verdict a sight to behold but not a viable alternative to the best in its class if performance is your priority. What's new for 2018? The F-Type now comes with a 296 horsepower turbocharged and Linfer as its base engine. We've spent some time behind the wheel of that new model, but we have yet to test one on the track or on our highway fuel economy loop. Other minor tweaks include full LED headlights, a freshened front end, and a new dynamic trim with 20-inch wheels and gloss black exterior trim. Jaguar's Control Touch Pro infotainment system with navigation services is newly standard. Trims and options we'd choose. The F-Type can be had in a dizzying number of powertrain and body style permutations, and ultimately each driver's preferences will dictate the best combination. We'd choose the coupe, since drop-tops aren't the thinking person's choice in the Midwest. A manual transmission version with the 340 horsepower supercharged V6 engine starts at $68,995. With each increase in power, the same V6 is also available in tunes of 380 or 400 horsepower. Comes an increase in price. We think 340 horsepower is plenty to be getting on with, so we'd avoid the upper trims. Standard equipment on the F-Type includes 12-way power adjustable seats with memory, 8.0-inch touchscreen infotainment system with navigation, lane departure warning and automated emergency braking. The $1,175 Fixiglass roof is hard to resist. This is the $1,380 Climate One package, which adds 2-zone automatic climate control and heating functions to the windshield, seats, and steering wheel. Those add-ons bring the total cost of our F-Type to $71,550. The F-Type is quick, but every car tested here is even quicker, some of them by a wide margin. If it can't literally keep up with its supercar one-arb competitors, at least the Jag offers a lineup of compelling, well-executed powertrains. The entry-level F-Type is a rear-wheel drive coupe with a 296 horsepower turbocharged 2.0-litre 4-cylinder and an 8-speed automatic transmission. We've spent limited time with this powertrain but found it mostly enjoyable, if a bit off base for a brand that has never had less than 6 cylinders under the long hoods of its sports cars. Next in the lineup are a trio of supercharged V6 engines, tuned to 340, 380, or 400 horsepower depending on the model. The two lesser V6s can be bolted to a 6-speed manual transmission, which we found easy to manipulate during our most recent test. The top-spec 400 horsepower V6 must roll with the available 8-speed automatic, which is a smooth, quick-witted operator. Steering wheel-mounted paddle shifters give the driver a measure of control over the proceedings. All-wheel drive is an option on the V6s and helps them put their power to the ground efficiently. No discussion of the F-Type's powertrain is complete without mentioning its wicked exhaust note. An active sport exhaust comes standard in every model, and even 4-cylinder F-Types will make a few pops on downshifting if properly motivated. The brash, attention-grabbing exhaust growl draws eyes to the F-Type, while its gorgeous design keeps them there. Automatic stop-start. The F-Type's automatic stop-start function works quickly and smoothly, but the popping exhaust note we enjoy so much when blasting through highway tunnels is downright startling when it comes at the end of every stoplight cycle. We're often surprised by how efficient sports cars can be. The F-Type holds true to that trend, with the 4-cylinder model earning an estimated 30 miles per gallon on the highway. The 400 horsepower all-wheel drive sport model we sampled fell slightly short of both its EPA ratings and its competitors during our real-world testing. The V6's EPA estimates, which don't vary based on the 3 available horsepower ratings, aren't quite as impressive as the 4's, but they still match up reasonably well with the rest of the class. The EPA doesn't note any difference in fuel economy between coupe and convertible versions of the F-Type, but rear-wheel drive models do about 1 mile per gallon better across the board than their all-wheel drive counterparts. We've devised our own fuel economy test in an attempt to replicate how most people drive on the highway. Our procedure entails a 200-mile out-and-back loop on Michigan's I-94 highway. We maintain a GPS-verified 75 miles per hour and use the cruise control as much as possible to mimic the way many drivers behave during long trips. We haven't tested a 4-cylinder F-Type on our highway loop yet, but an all-wheel drive V6 model fell 1 mile per gallon short of its EPA rating during our tests. That's not far off the mark, but every other vehicle tested in this set was more efficient. The F-Type's 18.5-gallon fuel tank helps it achieve a 460-mile highway range, which is competitive with the rest of this group. The F-Type looks hot and performs well on the track by objective standards, but where performance is concerned, it simply can't match outstanding competitors such as the Chevrolet Corvette or the Porsche Cayman. Acceleration. The F-Type's V6 engine makes spectacular noises when the standard active sport exhaust setting is engaged. The crackling downshifts will catch the attention of passers-by and startle sleeping wildlife, but none of that shtum and drang could help the 400 horsepower all-wheel drive F-Type Sport tested here launch from 0 to 60 miles per hour quicker than the rest of this set. Don't get us wrong, 4.4 seconds from a stop to 60 miles per hour is still speedy enough to catch an unsuspecting passenger off guard. Our issue is that the Audi TT RS was more than a second quicker, with a time that ranks as brutally fast. We have yet to test the F-Type's intra-level 4-cylinder engine, but in an early drive we found it to be nimble and fun to drive, if a little uninspiring compared with the V6's. Ride, handling, and steering. The F-Type is athletic and responsive, a fun companion with which to charge down serpentine roads. For a sports car, however, the steering effort and feel are a bit light for our tastes. The helm is responsive and accurate enough, although still no match for the vaunted steering in Porsche's Boxster and Cayman. The ride is firm but comfortable and mostly disguises harsh impacts. The 0.98 grams of grip we measured on our skid pad with the all-wheel drive F-Type 400 Sport is far more than most drivers will ever want or need. But compared with the rest of this class of superstars, the F-Type lags far behind. Braking. The F-Type braked to a stop from 70 miles per hour in 150 feet. In most segments, that would be a standout result, but bitted as the F-Type is against some of the best cars on the road, it is merely adequate. Curb weight and weight distribution. Our Jaguar F-Type 400 Sport all-wheel drive test car is the heavyweight of this group, about 500 pounds heavier than the Chevrolet Corvette Grand Sport and almost 900 pounds porkier than the Porsche Cayman S. In a class in which agility and raw grip are prized, the Jag's considerable heft and knows a heavyweight distribution put it at a significant handling disadvantage, one you can feel subtly from behind the wheel and see clearly in our performance testing.